Hi everyone, I'm Sarah at Childhood Finds, and thank you for joining me for this video. It'll be another What's Sold, but first I'm going to talk a little bit about updates that will change a little bit about how I am functioning for the good. It's a good thing. And I'm also going to share positives of why me choosing to pursue this side hustle as a business at not a great time that I probably shouldn't have when I did, but when I did, it has given me a lot of freedom. I work a lot. I absolutely still work just as much as I did before, but now I have some more freedom, and this freedom now is giving me the chance to help my partner do what he wants to do. So he has accepted a new job, and we are going to be moving not far from where we are now, but far enough that if I had a typical 9-to-5 job, it might have been harder, to just pick up and go. But this way we are able to pick up and go, and we'll be able to have a change of scenery here soon enough once we find a place, which is an adventure when you have two big dogs, because this town that we're going to be moving to does not enjoy dogs or animals of any kind in rentals. But besides the point, I just want to say that I am glad that I did this business. It has been very difficult at times, but now this also means I will be just going back to full-time reselling and YouTube. So I will be back to just 2 jobs essentially. So that'll be good for me and be able to give me more chance to do more content. And I also feel like I can breathe. I didn't quite feel like I could breathe the last few months. You could probably see it in me in videos, but now I feel like I can breathe a little. And so I am just very grateful to have this business and being able to resell full-time right now. And I do want to say that I'm going to probably do a video on that about pros and cons of being a reseller full-time. So I'm going to do a full video on that. So after all of that rambling, let's get started on some what solds. My sales are okay. They are nothing to jump up and down about, but they're paying my bills, so I'm not going to complain. It's a little slower right now, and I know a lot of that still has to do with me because I haven't been doing quite as much as I used to, and I think it's finally catching up, but I'm still trucking, so I can't complain. So let's just get started on some sales, and please, as always, share with me down in the comments if you have a favorite thing you either sourced yourself, a favorite thing you sold. Maybe if you don't sell or you're thinking about selling, you can always share if one of my things you really enjoy or you collect. Please just share that down in the comments, and I look forward to talking to you guys, and let's get started. Okay, we're gonna get started on some sales, and I just wanted to share, yes, I do have an assistant today. I couldn't make this happen without him. So first thing I should share is luckily my sales have picked up this weekend, or this video would have been one of the saddest videos you watched. So if I would have filmed this even 24 hours ago, this would have been a very pitiful video, but I think it still is good to show this because I think it helps share that, this is not always a consistent business and you just have to keep pushing and be able to look back and reflect and see why that might be happening. So let's get started with these sales. This is a 1994 Ertl Mrs. Jibba Jabba Jibber Jabber. Purtle, that got me all mixed up. Jibba Jabba Jibber Jabber, purple, hairdress, vintage works, reed. She just had some condition issues. She wasn't perfect. This is the one I had when I was young. If you've watched my channel before, you've probably seen the other one, or I have a short, I think, about this one, and they are obnoxious. They are very obnoxious creatures, but it did sell for a best offer of $25 very quickly. The Mrs. seems to be more valuable than the Mr. Not a ton, but a little bit. And I paid $2 for her at a thrift store. And this one I just wanted to share a cute lovey because I had a mom that reached out to me saying she really wanted to have a spare available for her child. And she was just very sweet and she left really sweet feedback. So I do like selling these. This is Dimdaco Whale Lovey Nautical Stripe Crinkle Teethed. Yeah, I think that teether. Oh well. Activity Baby Blanket 2019. Proofread. I should proofread more. I am finding that a lot lately. But this sold for a best offer of $10. It took a long time to sell, guys. This was listed for a year. That's what's fun when I go into List Perfectly to, delist things, is then I can see how long I've had them. And it's good knowledge. So this doesn't take up a lot of space. You don't make a ton, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. So you got to factor those in. This I've had listed for quite a long time as well, and at least a year and a couple months. But I got this. This one was one of two places. So my mother-in-law and I bought a pack of duck stamps at a yard sale, and then she also gave me a pack of duck stamps. So these are from her, or it's from the yard sale, and I paid $5 for it, one or the other. And this is a 1986 Washington duck stamp, print and stamp, first of state, Keith Warwick, signed. And these sell, some sold much faster than others, but they sell. I think I may have one or two left. And this is a vintage Wallace Berry Buzzy the Buzzard 6-inch plush vulture buzzard on duty, 1982. And this sold for full asking, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And I got fun feedback. The buyer is a receptionist at a doctor's office, and she said she has it up on her little desk. I think that's adorable. I love hearing in comments or feedback or messages from buyers. And this is vintage Stanley Ranch Craft strap hinges, flush door, steel, antique brass 6. And antique brass is the coloring of it. They're not antique. And these sold for $25, the full asking price. I picked these up at a yard sale for, I think I may have $1 or $2 into this lot. Hardware. I do love hardware. This is a vintage hand-tooled leather clutch wristlet. I can't talk today, guys. Handbag zip closure ideal. And it sold for $11 on best asking. I likely didn't pay more than $1 for this. I like picking up these little leather, either clutches or purses. Tend to pick them up when I find them. They always sell eventually. This came from my auction lot of Wedgewood, and this is Wedgewood Yellow Jasper Ware Primrose 4-inch trinket dish, and it sold for a best offer of $30. And I don't know, I have a few dollars into these. I did pay up for the Wedgewood, but I do have quite a few valuable ones that sell as well, so it all averages out. This took a couple months to sell. I am waiting out a lot of my Wedgewood to get better offers because I did pay up for them. And this I took a best offer of 30 or 35, guys. And it's green cloudy design blown glass Japan marked table lighter untested. I always put untested in these just to kind of save my behind. And I paid $2 for this at a kind of yard sale this summer. It was more fall. I haven't had this listed for very long though, because I dug it out of the pile. These are Dansko Professional Clog Black Metallic Iridescent Rainbow Size 39. I always go onto their website to see the size chart so that I can also put the US size of them, and the US size is 8.5 to 9. These sold for the full asking of $33. They took a fair amount of time to sell. I believe I picked these up at a thrift store on a half price day for $5, and I'm trying to do a little more shoes. You guys know that I've tried to branch out a lot this year: jewelry, shoes, clothing, etc. So I am trying to do a little more shoes. So Dansko will definitely be on my list, continue to be on it. And they took a little bit to sell, but good profit. These I picked up at a thrift store for $2.50, I believe, on a half price day. And this is Duer Women's Mid-Rise Denim Jeans Dark Wash, measure 32-31 reed. I don't know what I put in the reed. What's wrong with these? Pants are in, I don't know for sure if they're men or women's. There is no size or style tag. That has been cut out. Okay, look it. I still put women's in the title though. But not a great listing, guys, but I did it. It sold. $24 and $2.50 into $24. I did not recognize this tag at all, and that's why I looked it up at the thrift store. And look, my other Dance Goes sold too. I picked these up at, I believe, a rummage sale in October of 2023 for about $1. And these are Dance Go XP slip-on clogs, blue metallic snake reptile print. And they sold for the full asking of $39. And I haven't sold these in quite a long time, so I'm going to share it with you. Vintage sheet music, mixed lot of 10, ephemera, crafting arts, and craft read description. I think I need to edit all of these, and I'm going to put craft, arts and crafts, take out crafting, and just put read, and then add, someone had mentioned putting junk journal in these. So I think I'm gonna redo all these titles and add junk journal in it. And I think that's a great, some great keywords to have in there. But these sold for $10 plus shipping. Woohoo! I don't have very much into them, so I'm fine with that. This is The Early Diagnosis of the Acute Abdomen, Zachary Cope, 5th edition, 1928. It had some interesting photos in it, or not photos, illustrations in it, so it was a cool book, and it sold for $37 on a best offer. It took quite a long time to sell, but books are long tail, a lot of them. This is a lot of 2 made in Murano art glass birds figurines, and these sold for the $35. These sold for $35 on a best offer I sent. I paid, I think, about $2 for them at a little estate sale, and they took a few months to sell. This is a vintage signed Norma Jean brooch pin, large swirl sunburst gold tone, 3-inch, and it sold for a best offer of $12 because it's been listed for quite a long time. I probably have $1 into it, or 50 cents, so it's fine. Then I just wanted to share because it was a My Little Pony, and I am not going to have many My Little Ponies left to share. And this is a Luau Generation 3 Vintage Hasbro 2002 with brush. Sold for a best offer of $7, so I'm rich now. Here's some more hardware. It's Florenta of California Vintage 1967 Brass Tone Light Switch Plate Cover Floral. Sold for a best offer of $16, and I picked this up in an estate sale for $1. This was a good sale, and it's a Fry Leather Melissa Distressed Shopper Tote Shoulder Bag, purse brown. I took a best offer of $72. I was really surprised by this one because I knew that Fry was something to look for, and I picked this up at an estate sale for $4. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, it's trash. It's been trashed. No, this is the style. It's distressed. So this is how it is supposed to look, because I was worried. I took hundreds of pictures being like, look at all the scratches. I was going to sell it cheap. And then I researched, and this is a thing. And that's why I am just learning about all the fashion industry, because I have no fashion sense. And yeah, it sold for $72. It was still a very nice bag, and that's why I still picked it up, even though in my head I'm like, this has been used a lot. I still picked it up, and it sold for $72 on a best offer. I probably could have got more, but I know so little about this. I am very happy with that price. This I picked up a stack of vintage board games at a yard sale, and I paid $5 for this one. It's a 1974 Columbo Detective Mystery board game, Milton Bradley, 4419, complete and vintage. And it sold for $70, and it sold within a couple days. This was a very desirable one. I picked this up at an estate sale about a month or 2 ago, and I paid about $1. It's the Nelson Complete Study Bible System, and black bonded leather. It was basically in new condition. I still didn't put that it was new, but it was basically in new condition, and sold for the full asking price. This is another reason, much like the Dance Goes, that I do also watch tons of YouTube and what sold videos, because then names get triggered when I'm outsourcing. So Dance Goes, I knew were something, and so the first time I found them, I picked them up because they were cheap. And this one is Eileen Fisher Organic Cotton Stretch Medium Wash Blue Jeans. I took a best offer for $14. They weren't in great condition. They were definitely used condition. And I just recognized Eileen Fisher being a name that you should maybe look for and check on when you're out and about. So that's why I grabbed these. I paid about $1 for them. So it's definitely helpful to watch these videos, at least for me, because your mind just grabs little words and they chime in your head when you're outsourcing. And this is another piece of Wedgewood. It's a vintage white on pink Wedgewood Jasperware cherub angel design plate. I took a best offer of $67 for this. I took a little less than I was wanting to take for this plate, but it was still a good offer. I also was a lot more tempted to take it because it was international. And so far, I haven't been burned yet. I know others may have been burned. I haven't yet on eBay International Shipping. I really enjoyed the system because I've had, I think, 2 or 3 buyers try to open up returns saying they didn't receive an item, but because it had gone through the hub, I was in the clear and I didn't have to do anything. So far I have really enjoyed the international sales, so I am a little more tempted to take offers when I get them. But $67 from my auction lot of Wedgewood buy. And then one final sale that just came in, so helping me make it a decent-ish week, is Brass Collie Dog vintage pair of bookends, 7-inch tall, made in Korea. See all photos. They show age and some tarnish, etc. These sold for the full asking of $80. They took a couple months to sell, and I picked them up at a local auction for, I think I was in for about $12 for them. So very happy with that. And so that's all I have to share with you. No, I just barely had one Poshmark sale come in right before this video that I didn't add. That was kind of a pitiful sale, but I took it because it was something. But other than that, I have had basically no Mercari or Poshmark sales, which is mildly frustrating just because the last 2 weeks I have put in much more effort than ever before on my cross-posting and sharing, etc. So, it is what it is. So I don't have any sales of those to share with you. Hopefully next week I'll have some more. But other than that, that's all for today, and thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys on the next one.